Joining me from outside of the courtroom right now for that hush money case first is NBC legal analyst Lisa Rubin. Lisa, you were inside that room. You saw the former president on the Zoom. Tell me what the judge said. Tell me what the president said.
Okay, let's start with the president's demeanor. He looked dour and as unhappy as I've seen him in a long time. And the thing that provoked his greatest unhappiness was when the judge said that the March 25th, 2024 trial date in the hush money case is firm, that he expects all parties and their counsel to make themselves thoroughly available and clear their calendars. And at that point, Donald Trump, who was then on mute, went like this and scowled. That was what provoked his greatest ire during the hearing. The judge also reviewed the terms of the protective order with Donald Trump, but not line by line. He asked Donald Trump if he had a copy of the protective order and then proceeded to ask his counsel, Todd Blanche, have you reviewed this with your client? Does he have any outstanding questions about the terms? And most importantly, does he understand that this is my mandate? And if he violates it, sanctions will be forthcoming, including, but not limited to, criminal contempt.
That is a very big deal. When they're talking about the protective order, tell me why they would need one against Donald Trump.
Because Donald Trump is a person, Katie, as you know, who uses information or misinformation to his advantage whenever he can. Normally, in a New York criminal case, the defendant gets reams of material from a district attorney's office. Here, the protective order prohibits Donald Trump not only from using that material and posting it to social media, but from even talking about the contents of those materials on his Truth Social account or other social media. He's also not even allowed to maintain his own copy of a certain subset of those materials. If and when he sees it, he has to do it in the presence of his lawyers because, Katie, as you know, he has shown time and again that when left to his own devices, he will talk and talk and talk, and not always with the truth in mind, and sometimes in a way that intimidates witnesses or puts people's health and safety at risk, including that of the judge, Juan Merchan, in the courthouse right behind me.
So March 24th, trial date, March 24th, 2024, smack dab in the middle of primary season, ahead of the presidential election. Lisa, that's going to happen. All right.